What's happening, world? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of Cognac Confessionals. I'm your host, Deshaun. Here at Where Media Meets Studios, in conjunction with VJ TV, Feral Films, History and Entertainment, Keep It Cloudy Productions on this Friday, last Friday of September, 2023. Summer's over. We are officially in the fall now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, what's happening with the world? It's been an interesting week. Got a nice show lined up for y'all tonight. Let everybody introduce themselves as usual.
Hey, what's up with it? It's your boy Pharaoh, a.k.a. Feral Films, a.k.a. Pharaoh the Most, a.k.a. I got a hitter to the left of me.
And it's your boy K-A-double-M in the building. We got a good show for y'all tonight. Thanks for tuning in.
And our guest tonight is...
Hey, y'all. It is Keldamuzik, a.k.a. Diva. I am here. And I'm just happy to see such handsome faces.
Thank you.
Oh.
That's what's up. Welcome to the show. You've been here before,
Yes, sir.
We here in the building tonight, chilling.
Yes, indeed. It's always a wonderful thing to have the diva in the house. One thing y'all don't know is that the diva was one of the first artists out the Bay on World Star.
Oh, my gosh.
See what I was saying? And one of the first out the Bay to tour the Caribbean and tour Asia. Y'all better put some respect. I keep telling everybody, y'all better put some respect on the diva.
That's what's up.
And she's been on Love and Hip Hop. Music's been featured on Love and Hip Hop. This and that. She's been all over the world. Y'all gonna quit playing like the diva ain't moving.
They're doing their thing.
In fact, how does that feel sometimes when you know all the things you've accomplished internationally, here domestically, but then when they get to talking about the top dogs, they be acting like they don't want to say your name.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
Well, just, from even back in the day, starting out in the game here in Oakland, like in 2005, it was always some kind of hate, crabs in the barrel, and it's still happening now. And it sucks because it's like there's so much that we can all do together, but we choose not to because of personal feelings and politics and stuff like that. But that's why you have to create your own platform, your own foundation, and that's the only way you're going to make noise and attract people to come work with you.
Okay. That's what's up. I mean, you've been busy too lately.
Yeah.
You got a lot of things going. You got your Tamz berets. You got the Hodges show with comedian Mario Hodge, friend of the show. Shout out to Mario.
Shout out to Mario and his family.
You got a workout CD. I seen your video.
Shout out to Candace.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Candace Kugler. Yes.
You be busy.
Yeah.
You stay working. Voiceovers.
Yes.
Movie roles.
Yes.
I saw some movie or a TV show. And I'm not sure if it was a minor speaking part. Did you play in the series a la carte?
No.
It was this lady, and it was the camera angle was. I was like, that looked like Kelda. And I was like, I'm an actor, but okay.
No, it wasn't me, but whoever she is, she's a gorgeous diva.
So modest.
Yeah. So let's go into all your ventures. What you got? Because like I said, you're a busy woman.
Yeah. So okay. So I'm in a film that's streaming on Hulu. It's called First Date. I starred in a play called How Black Mothers Say I Love You. Shout out to Tanika Baptiste for casting me to play in a play because I had no experience and I was having a difficult time, but I did it. I've been hosting fashion shows featuring Tamz. Right now, it's just like when you have so many things going on, it's almost like when you talk about it, you have nothing going on.
One thing that's impressed me is your talk show that you got on Tubi.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm trying to be like you guys. Shoot, I need to get it on Peacock next, Paramount. So Diva Talk Tonight, which was produced by VJ TV. Shout out to Rockefeller.
Shout out Rock.
Yes. It's now on Tubi, 12 episodes. And man, what is it? The viewership is going high. I didn't expect that. But because I don't know how many talk shows Tubi has on their platform, but I know for sure my talk show is getting a lot of attention. So, yeah.
So how did that come about?
Well, everything's all about who you know, how much money you got sometimes, and really your track record, your history, and what your future is, what you want to accomplish. So everything's just all about networking, and you never know. You can network with someone that you met 10 years ago, and then 10 years later they come back to you with an opportunity.
Yes.
Right.
So, yeah.
Because you are a hustler's hustler. You are a go-getter. Like I said, you stay busy.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we've had several guests on our show through networking with you. Through that,
Yes,
through the
actually,
group,
yes,
you know.
yes. Shout out to Danielle.
Shout out
and
to everybody.
Yes, Danielle.
Listen,
Everybody we
they're
met.
gonna make a special announcement in regards to the Diva.
Go for it.
Remember the movie we did, All the Love?
Yes.
So we did a movie about 2 years ago, All the Love. There was a couple people featured in it that I literally wanted to die in a car fire, so I never put it out.
Be nice.
But then someone said, "Hey, blood, you cutting off your own nose to spite your face."
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So it has been picked up by Tubi, and we'll be going live in a couple weeks. And it's
Awesome.
starring Kelda,
Hey.
Ron Rax,
Ron Rax.
Ron Rack,
Homie.
shout out to Ron.
Ron Rax, Ajane,
Ajane, shout out to Ajane.
and a couple people that should die in a car fire.
And shout out to them.
Tell them the name of it.
It's called All the Love, and
All
it'll
the
be live on Tubi within the next 2 to 3
Is that the one
weeks.
that Kafani was in when we had him in
Yes,
the car?
exactly. And
Yeah,
shout
yeah.
out to the Ice King.
Yeah.
Kafani is in the movie. Danielle is in
Danielle
it.
Davis, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a nice turnout
Yeah.
what's up.
and stuff. And it's a very good movie.
Mhm.
David Harrison, Data is in it and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the Diva is in it, playing a revolutionary. I
Yes.
think that's the inspiration for the Tamz line.
There you go.
The berets.
Right.
But yeah, it's so it'll be going live in a couple weeks.
And let me tell you something, Pharrell, you're a good acting coach, because remember when I was waiting for my scene, and then when we started my scene, I was just all over the place, and you were like, "What the hell was that?" You're like, "Wait a minute, do you need to sit down for a minute and read over your lines again?" And
the only difference between a bright light and a laser is focus.
Nice.
Yeah,
Woo!
I like that.
Yeah.
That's one of them 3 in the mornings right there.
Hey, it's starting to rub off on me, man.
man.
But y'all be on the lookout for that. All the Love with about a day or 2 from October, and so hopefully it'll be live before like Halloween and stuff like that, so people can sit down and watch it. A couple plot twists and stuff like that.
That's what's
So
up.
thank you,
My
Diva.
question is, so when I see you out in public, you know what I'm saying, you be surrounded by a bunch of young ladies, you
beautiful
know what I mean?
ones, yes.
So what you doing with that? I mean, you look like a female Mac out here. I know I ain't that, but I'm just saying.
What's up with this Diamond Brown?
Oh, Diamond's so sexy. Yes, I was trying to get her over here, but she's busy. That's my girl. I've known her for about 20-something years.
Shout out to Monique, this milk.
And
You know that
Monique-
for 20 years, because you look 27 and she looked 23. So
I
what
don't
y'all
know.
met on the
It
playground or
just-
something?
They added it up. They added the numbers up.
You know,
Hey, what's up to Monique, this milk? She's in
Yes.
the comments saying, go Kelda.
Oh, yes, Monique, I love you. Her film was so much fun, and she's a great acting coach as
Yes.
well. And I like the fact that she likes perfection. You know what I mean? Like, do it again. Do it again.
Yes. And Monique is one of the only female black directors to have multiple films on a major streaming platform with her movies on Peacock.
Woo!
I'd like to see you and Monique do a movie together. Because
yeah.
the thing is that there's so many local people who we trying to front on y'all, but y'all are actually making nationwide moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's always funny to me when the locals ain't trying to acknowledge something.
You gotta support what's cracking.
And and the person is actually moving across this whole country and international.
Mm-hmm.
I always call it touching the TV.
Yeah.
Whenever you're doing something that, celebrities are doing, whatever, you're touching the TV.
That's what's up.
So, like, just like, yes, Monique being on Peacock, us being on Tubi, that's touching the TV, because now you're playing with the big wigs. You're competing against a Tubi production starring a major celebrity now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, kudos to all of us.
The movie Monique directed, Her Leather Coat, has actually streamed 12 million times.
Whoa.
Peacock and Tubi.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
She's a boss.
So it's
Boss moves over there.
It's numbers being done.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get you on the show too, sis. I know we've been talking about it for a minute.
So what's your top 2 goals that you're trying to do with all the stuff you're doing? Like, what would you say?
Well, for one, I can't mention the name, but my goal is to have a partnership with a label or a brand, a 360 deal. And nowadays you can have that with a brand. It doesn't have to be with a label. It's whoever wants to fund your career in all aspects of your career. And obviously, they make money off that. But they have your back. They have the bigger resources, right? To get on, the major talk shows, major radio stations and such like that. And just taking care of you. So that's my ultimate goal, is to partner with a label or brand. I hate using the word getting signed because that's so old now. I call it a partnership. And especially with the labels consolidating now because of the streaming industry, you kind of have to sort things out carefully and figure out where's your home. If I partner with you, that's my home. Any projects I have going on, I go back to my home and we discuss about and have a powwow and discuss what direction we should go in with that film, with that TV show, with this fashion line, everything. So that's my ultimate goal, and I'm currently in negotiations with someone about that. So hopefully if it comes through, hey, you might see me on, who knows?
Yeah.
You'll see me. More.
Don't give them too much, but give them a little bit.
No.
So, go ahead.
Oh, for some inspiration, back in our day, some OGs. Back in our day,
They some OGs. No, I'm just playing.
back in our days, we had to go to Atlanta or to Los Angeles to get these type of things going, despite being here in the Bay Area, which is one of the largest media markets in the world. Are you going to have to take the Kelda show on the road, or are you able to still do it
I'm
right
staying here. I'm staying here.
Okay.
I've been told several times, you need to move to LA. You need to move to New York.
Atlanta.
Right, Atlanta. Don't get me wrong, like Atlanta is popping right now. But you have to think of your competitors. What separates you from your competitors? What makes you different from them? Because you go to LA, Atlanta, New York, you're going to see the same people that look just like you, same people who have the same skill set, same people who have the same track record. What makes you different? Right. So that's why I'm staying here in the Bay, because I had several chances to move to LA. Let me tell you something quick. When I was in high school, I got invited to audition for Columbia Records in Santa Monica. And I was only like 16 years old. And, my dad was totally against it. He was like, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be so much competition, you won't, you just won't get what you want. And I was just like, I know, but let me just take this chance. And my mom was like, okay, so she bought me a ticket. I stayed with this management called We Camelot, and they put me up in one of their apartments. And the manager took me to audition at Columbia Records. And the time when I auditioned, it was when J-Lo and Jessica Simpson first came out. So next door, they were having a launching party for them. And so, I forgot what my point was. Oh, wait, what was my point? What was the question again?
Having to travel.
Okay, so I was going to take the proficiency test to leave high school, to move down to LA and try to be in this girl group that Columbia Records created. And once I found out...
that girl group out of Texas?
Out of Texas? I don't know. What?
Because there's a girl group that came out of Columbia that Wyclef ended up remixing.
Oh, no. I didn't have vocals like that.
Okay.
And so it was just so funny. Yeah, like I walked into the Columbia Records building. It was really nice. It was, this white dude and this black dude, and I was singing one of my little crappy songs, and they were just like, And they asked me questions like, do you like to travel? Do you like to go on tour? Are you cool with, taking a lot of pictures? And this was the era when Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, all of those bands and female singers were out, Christina Aguilera. And I was really down for it. But unfortunately, they didn't call me back. But if they did,
How long were you out there?
For maybe 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Because my manager started taking me on go-sees with different casting directors. Cavallari Associates. She took me there and a couple other places to introduce myself to talent agencies. And unfortunately, they found out I lived in the Bay Area, and most LA talent agents don't, you know what I mean? They want you to live within the area.
And some of y'all, when y'all auditioning for some of these parts down there, because I know this happened to a friend of mine, they were getting callbacks for Transformers.
Right.
And when they looked at the address, they was like, well, it wouldn't be realistic. But they wasn't knowing that this person was willing to go sleep on somebody's couch in LA.
Casting couch? Oh, hell
they was
no.
like, you live in Oakland. We didn't realize that. Like,
right.
Okay, we're like, no, wait, I'll come. I'll be there.
Yeah. And so, point being is, I had a chance at 16 years old to relocate to LA to try to pursue my career. But when Columbia Records didn't call me back and the casting agents were kind of like, oh, you live in the Bay, I just said forget it, and I started going hard at education. I started, studying and getting better grades because I was like, okay, when I graduate, I want to get into a, university in Southern California and leave so I could pursue my career. But I realized, no, I have to stay in the Bay Area. We could go anywhere and do anything, but when you already built a foundation where you're at, you have to continue to keep that growing.
Now let me ask you this, on a personal level, were you ready? Because me and a friend of mine, we had put together a label situation with Rough Riders, and then one of our friends blew it up over some ego shit, and me and my friend were having the conversation that actually, thank the Lord, that it didn't go through. Because at that stage of my life, if somebody would have handed me $500,000, I would have self-destructed. Because even though I wanted that worse than anything, I now can look back and say, spiritually, if you'd have gave me $500,000 at that stage of my life, I would have really fucked off everything that was important to me.
You would have been on some young, ignorant, hyphy shit.
So it's like, God knew, like I went from, why God, why you didn't let me have that, to, you know what? Actually, thank the Lord that didn't come through for me, because
you weren't prepared.
I would have ended up in a gutter somewhere with a needle in my arm, probably.
Right, like I said, they chew you up and spit you out.
So, were you ready?
No.
At 16?
No. I thought I was ready, but I wasn't. I had the ambition, the drive, all of that, but vocally, talent-wise, I wasn't ready. And I understood why they didn't call me back. But I was just like, well, you guys are looking for a girl group, similar to all the little girl groups that are out there. Like, can I just be like the one in the back that just looks cute? And they're like, no, we need vocalists. And that was not me. And that was back then when I was trying to sing.
Funny thing is, so many vocalists go out there, and I've known so many vocalists that went out there and actually got signed, and then the project actually never comes out, and I look up and they done lost weight, they playing with their nose, they done got turned out,
working at bars, waiting tables.
It's like
stripping.
It's like, and then they be too embarrassed to come back home and regroup, because when you go somewhere,
they told
everybody hear
you
you.
Motherfuckers ain't gonna see me till I'm on top.
Right, and then it don't work out, and you don't want to come back home.
My
So
money,
it's like,
right?
And that's the underwritten. That's the one of the unwritten things that they don't really speak on is that what happens when you now got this $200,000-$300,000 advance in the bank, and you suddenly surrounded by a bunch of people who wasn't there with you in the come up.
Cousin Luckies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They done latched on to you. There's no familiar faces around you. And so many people get record deals and don't ever actually come out. It just gets burnt up.
Shelved. It gets shelved.
So many enablers.
And their lives get ruined because, you know, when you go from paycheck to paycheck to, shit, wrap that shit up. And you got a crew of motherfuckers around you and everybody kissing your ass and... Woo, it's a rough game, and they don't have, like, I see all these podcasts talking about how to get money, this and that, but I never, or these articles about how to get money, but I don't ever see nothing that happens when you do got money or when you do got notoriety, and you literally out there floating. You know what I'm saying? I remember Razzcast had said something about, hey man, don't get me wrong, I got personality. I always had a bad one. But I didn't have, but when I got the record deal, I had 20 bad ones.
They come and go.
Niggas that I knew in the neighborhood that I didn't even know if they even knew my name because I was a little niggas now acting like I'm the big homie. And he was like, and that was Razzcast. Remember Razzcast? He was on Party?
Yes,
Razzcast. He said he was
Shout
so much drinking, got so many DUIs, so much this, that he literally woke up one morning in jail and don't even know how he didn't know how he got so drunk, he got in his car, got pulled over, they put you in the drunk tank. He woke up and was like, how the fuck I get here? I was sitting on my couch. And nobody wanted to fuck with him no more, and it was like, giving him too much success almost killed him. You know, at that stage of his life.
It's a double-edged sword. Definitely a gift and a curse.
Yeah, it is.
So
that ain't even the 3 in the morning one.
That's just right now. What drives Miss Kelda? What drives you?
What drives me? I would say since I've been in this industry since I was 5 years old, it's kind of like you have no choice. What else is there to do? I tried to play soccer, which I was playing for about 7 years. Could have, got a scholarship to San Jose State or anywhere else or overseas, and I could have pursued that. Or I could have pursued a modeling career. I was much more skinnier than this. But like music, acting is the only thing I know. Like, I have knowledge on a lot of stuff, but I apply it to what I like. And that's, I feel like I'm put on this earth to pursue my music and acting career and nothing else. To be in the entertainment industry, to entertain. Or else, what am I doing here?
Okay.
So you have to have that single-minded focus. So let that be a lesson, because sometimes I've seen people say, oh, you got to have a backup plan, this and that, right? And I've seen a lot of successful people like, man, fuck a backup plan. I'm locked in on this, and I'll go to the ends of the earth for this.
Do you think that's right? Like, do you think people should have a backup plan?
Looking at myself, trying to have played cautious and have a backup plan, I really think I should have had that laser singular focus of it's this or nothing. It's this or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start hedging your bets and times get hard, then you're gonna fall back to the sure thing.
Right.
But if you have nothing else but this,
that's true.
No,
so it's funny you say that, and I don't want to get political or anything, but at one point I had a talk with my dad, because every time I would tell him, oh hey, look, I got signed to this agency, I'm going on this casting call, and he was just like, that's fine, but make sure you are in school earning at least a 3.0, right, getting good grades and living your childhood life. The entertainment industry will always be there. It's not going anywhere. Doesn't matter how old you are, whatever. Being marketable is marketable. And he was like, you need to make sure you pursue school, get your education, get a trade, something to fall back on in case this doesn't happen. And he's totally right, because there's a lot of artists that we know from back in the day that are not here today.
Mm-hmm.
Some are working 9-to-5 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Some aren't even working 9-to-5 jobs, and they're struggling like everybody else. So having a backup plan is always necessary. Always.
But in fairness to that, everyone that I know that was successful from my era that are not doing bad now, it's not that they failed to plan. What I mean, they failed to plan is that they fucked off their money. Like if they had put their money into anything of any type of substance or wisdom, into a rib joint or into a sixplex,
something,
or a 10plex apartment. If they did that, they would be good right now.
But at the same time, like you said, everybody that I know that was laser focused is doing hella good right now.
Right.
Whereas me,
I'm talking about the cats that got
all over the
record
place.
deals and was literally having straight
Yeah,
orgies.
yeah.
I'm talking about niggas that would literally force their baby mama, like the person should be precious. Like if you want to be with me, we got that threesome, foursomes, this and that. Niggas was really living that life. And then when the money stopped coming, everything was just completely disheveled. Personal life, mama, like family was like, oh, we good off of you. But people that was locked into their career, and then when they did get a whole little money, bought apartment complexes or did this or did that, they good. But them that went all in, I'm a star. I'm just here to... I ain't got nothing for y'all but hard dick and bubble gum, and I just ran out of bubble gum, They suffering right now.
And
they out in the streets trying to hustle or some shit like that.
Right, and that's the thing. Whatever career or field of work that you want to pursue, you make sure you study thoroughly in detail about it before you pursue it. Because there are going to be consequences, right? And just for me, being, a child actor or whatever, going on hella different auditions, it's like you could have the passion for this all you want, but you also need to think about yourself as a human being outside of this, and not only have a backup plan, but have a real backup plan.
Right.
And so that's what I've always been taught. When I was younger, you guys are probably familiar with John Robert Powers. They were acting school. And I remember when my mom took me there, they were like, well, she needs to have a 3.0 in order to sign with us. And I didn't. And they were like, that's the thing, we need kids to still be, heavy on education.
Yeah.
And not worry about just acting.
Yeah, because a lot of them, if you're young in this industry, you'll, like you said, you'll flash out.
You will.
You just crash and burn.
And let me tell you something, too.
Fall back on.
I was dealing with this talent agent so this is a different situation. After I turned 18, I was dealing with this talent agent in LA, and she was like, come live with me, and I'll make sure you get roles, I'll make sure you get performances through this guy that I'm working with. And the guy that she was working with, he used to be a vocal coach for Brandy and Ray J. And so he was really cool. And so I would come down there and stay with them and go on auditions. And then I invited, my one of my girlfriends to come up, and they got me an audition with Fontaine Entertainment, and Fontaine Entertainment managed all the pop acts and stuff. Okay. But the thing is, no one made sure that I was prepared. And that's how it's always been since I was a kid. It wasn't no preparation was involved. It was more like little magic from In Living Color. Go, get out there, go. Smile, pose. And it's like, no. When you are managing a child or a teenager to be an entertainer, you have to really take time and work with them. Just like how basketball players, Jordan's dad probably worked with him every day around the clock, right? Tiger Woods, right? Beyonce. This stuff doesn't happen overnight.
So it's not organic.
It has to be. It has to be organic.
Basketball players need to be shooting in the gym.
Shooting in the gym.
Shooting in the gym.
Yeah. No days off.
Do you find that being thrown out there helps you?
It did.
In the long run, at least.
It did, because at first I hated it. Because my mom, she literally would pull my brother and I out of school and take us to auditions. And she's like, guess what? You got an audition for Kellogg's. And we're like, oh, okay. And we go in there, and it will be 2 talent agents and the casting director. And they're just like, because they know we haven't memorized our script. We're just reading it off the paper. And it was just like, if you have someone who's really trying to get you in the game, they're gonna train you and coach you the best, and not just throw you out there. So, my mom was definitely good with the connections. She was. Mm-hmm. But as far as training me, she probably should have hired a trainer for me, or else I would have. Who knows? I would have been starring in plays and movies by now, big time stuff. But I'm happy where I'm at now, because now I've taken interest based on how I feel and not because anybody else is pushing me to do it.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, podcast, Tamz, where did the inspiration for your berets come from?
Yes, so I was a Black Panther. No, I'm just kidding. So it was during COVID. Right, when people were trying to figure out, how are you going to continue to generate income as an artist, as an entertainer? Can't do shows. Hollywood was closed. So what do you do? And to myself, I'm just like, well, wait a minute. No one in the hip hop community or Black community has branded berets. What about berets? Everyone was busy making masks, glasses, jewelry, clothes. I said, wait a minute. What about berets? And sure enough, people gravitated towards it. They love it. I've created a bigger network. I love all the girls and guys that are in my network right now. They're nothing but supportive. And it's a blessing. But, yeah, I just, if you ever heard of the term supply and demand, supply, because it was a demand.
There you go. Where do you see Kelda 5 years from now? Perfect world.
Perfect world? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I do really admire Nick Cannon and Jennifer Lopez. And Puffy. There is no one angle goal for them. It's a goal for everything they do. So that's what I want. I want a goal for Tamz, a goal for my music, a goal for film, a goal for podcasting, a goal for my company, Diggs Media Group.
Diggs Media Group.
So there is no single goal. It's everything I do. And by watching, even shout out to Keke Palmer. She multitasks too. She had a talk show. She does music. She performs all over the world. She's an actress. She does voiceovers. That's what I am. Multitask entertainer.
That's what's up. Speaking of voiceovers, you were, I know you've done voiceovers.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get into that?
Well, it's funny. People always tell me I had a good voice. I have different voices. Okay, you guys want to hear?
Sure.
All right. Hello, how are you? My name is Kelda. No, that's cool. All right. Yeah. Girl, I want to holler at you. For sure.
That's the stud voice?
That's the stud voice.
Oh, okay.
And then here's the sexy voice. Hello, hi, how are you? Oh, okay. No, it's no problem. I'll see you later. Okay, fine. And then here's a kid voice. Hey guys, where are we going today? To the playground? Yeah, I can't wait to get on the swings. It's gonna be so fun.
I need you on Rugrats.
Yeah, we got to sign you up for the next cartoon.
I know. So I did do a cartoon animation, and they had me play a sister who's running for mayor, and I was like, first of all, what y'all need to realize is I am trying to run for mayor, and y'all better vote for me because y'all don't know who I is. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
I like doing voiceovers.
Yeah, you got. Like I said, you got your hand in a whole bunch of pots, and that's a good
I'm a
thing.
multi-talented person. Like I said, I shouldn't be on this earth unless I'm doing this.
Yeah, like I said, you's a hustler, motivated. You a go-getter. I'll be watching.
And
you be active. Like,
and I help people out
shows.
too.
Oh,
I help
really?
people out. Like you guys are in my group
Yeah,
chat.
you pulled me into the group. I was like, oh,
We
what's
need to
up?
get you
I
in there if you want to
appreciate
be
it.
in there. But we post opportunity. Every opportunity I find, I'm like,
Yeah.
boom, let me just throw in this group because
Yeah.
somebody's gonna come up from this.
Exactly, and the thing about it, what I truly appreciate about you is you're selfless with it, and you're just open to, like you said, networking, sharing opportunities for people, and you're not in there on some bullshit or some higher than thou ass shit. How some people be. So I salute you for that, and I appreciate you for that, because that's a real good way to be. You know, because it's not often you find that too much nowadays. So that's what's up.
Right, like people are crabs in a barrel. I'm the total opposite. I'm like, if I find an opportunity that doesn't fit me, well, let me pass this on to someone else who might benefit from it. Why let it go to waste?
Yeah.
That's all.
That's what's
I
up.
know you was a pimp.
Just say, let me get the tone up back.
Well, wait a minute, I ain't got nobody in contracts yet. So,
Pimps don't do contracts.
right.
But and
so
they say shit like, "What's understood
is understood.
Just keep in the back of your brain and peep these frames. You know what I'm saying? Why I give you this game. Gotta get it.
Oh, you
before
don't
got
use
it.
soda? Or no?
I'm not bad. We guzzled it all.
We got water.
Does water go good with cognac?
Yeah, me do.
Nah.
No.
Just
Yeah, I
put on
figured.
and hog it out, baby.
This is my last one then.
Hog it out then, baby.
So I mean, what adventures you got coming up, going on to as we end? I mean, we're in the fourth quarter of 2023. So
Right, already.
yeah,
Isn't it crazy?
very much so. Time passes as
It's
fast as you accept that it passes. If you think it goes slow, it goes slow. You'll get that at 3 in the morning.
I suggest that people stay up 24 hours a day for like 3 days so you could accomplish and do all the work that you need to do.
Sober.
Sober.
Don't pop nothing.
Right, don't pop nothing. Or don't, I mean, you can drink a little coffee, but
I mean, you know, I can hit that young meth and be up to 3 days.
Oh,
Then I might be
no.
running down the street with an axe in my hand
Nah,
on the
we
third day.
ain't doing none of that shit.
no, like there's times where I've stayed up for like a whole week just writing emails, making calls, putting things together. Because I'm like, if you work hard enough, you'll receive the rewards later.
True.
And you know what? I read an article that Ice Cube wrote not too long ago. He said, if you're not willing to put in, like, I think either he said 15 months or 15 years of work towards your career for free, then you're not trying to make it.
Right.
Because we're talking about the entertainment industry here. We're not talking about healthcare, law enforcement, technology, hospitality. We're talking about entertainment industry, the most competitive industry, where it doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. It's about your knowledge of what you're marketing and how you promote it.
Right.
So yeah.
That's what's up. So, I got some, today was a crazy ass day.
Man, we're
Speaking
the
of
craziest of
entertainment.
all time.
In the entertainment news,
What? Oh yes.
so today, Keefe D got arrested for his involvement, talking too much, about the murder of Tupac. Let me get you guys' thoughts on that. 27 years after.
My thing is this: is that if you essentially get away with murder, keep your mouth shut. I know quite a few niggas that have gotten away with murder, and they're literally you're gonna have to dig up their corpse to get some type of confession. Keefe was wilding, man. Keefe where he's supposed to be because he violated every rule of the game.
Man. That just kind of go to show you, like, how, I don't know, how stupid a motherfucker can be. Because, like, first of all, you snitched on your nephew, basically, while he was at rest.
Hey, T.I. and them say you can't snitch on a dead man.
But at the same time, you telling on yourself.
You big dummy.
You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, so he got mad because everybody else was telling his story. And then once he dropped the BET joint, time go by and he's like, oh shit, nothing happened. Okay, shit, it's on. Now statute of limitations. He thinking all this stuff that ain't even factual. If you kill somebody, oh no, you summed it up. I can't really follow up.
Yeah, that nigga was wild.
Yeah, and then he was kind of cocky about it too. That's what surprised me. Like watching that last interview.
He told Pac was breakdancing when they was shooting him. I was like, wow, this nigga really out of bounds.
Right, Kelda, what's your thoughts on this situation?
Oh, by the way, my girlfriend is at the door because someone let her in.
I'll let her
Sherry's
in.
so pretty.
Now, was she involved in the murder too?
We'll find out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
As far as that, I just saw news about it. But it sounds like he's been hinting and talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
And now he finally just fully opened about it. I mean, maybe he feels guilty.
That's what I was thinking too. Like maybe it's a side of him that's just like, because how do you sleep like knowing, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Change the course of fucking history.
Yeah. But at the same time, that was stupid.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, being as someone who was raised with a strict honor code system that I will never break. I was raised by some real thorough individuals. There's certain shit you just don't do and you don't speak on. You know, that's just what it is. You know, so.
Like me personally, I'm not finna, whether my cousin dead or alive, like I'm not finna speak on his dirt. Like out of honor, out of respect, I'm actually not gonna speak on him. You know what I'm saying? So.
Sir, you want some?
Okay, a little bit. How y'all doing? Excuse the hoarseness.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Now, Sherry has a unique opinion on the whole thing.
So we're talking about Keefe D getting arrested for his involvement, talking too much about his involvement in the murder of Tupac. What's your thoughts?
I actually was watching part of it on my way out the door earlier, but it's so many parties involved. I forget exactly which one. Was he in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Was he the security guard for one of the other?
No.
Okay. I feel like, you know, honestly, being that Tupac has been a target of the FBI since birth, that the person, whoever killed, just like Malcolm X murder, you know, just modern day, well, 90s version, Malcolm X murder, FBI provocateur.
The COINTELPRO?
Yeah, COINTELPRO.
Same program that took out Fred Hampton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in short, but you know.
But yeah, but to her, what she's speaking on too, if you haven't seen like the a lot of the like documentaries or like the show, like the shit on like Netflix and all that, the news is kind of assuming that you've seen all of that. So yeah, you kind of got to get caught up on it to like know how stupid the whole shit is really.
Shout out to Ramon.
Now,
tuning in. What's happening?
Now, one of the things about COINTELPRO and stuff like that, and like with the Malcolm X assassination and stuff like that, is that they're experts at. They don't necessarily pull the trigger, but they put the scenarios in place.
Yeah.
Like with Malcolm X, they had an agent on the inside who told the guards at the front, "Don't search anybody today." Now, why that's so relevant to this is that to come into a mosque, an NOI type mosque or anything like that, you get searched thoroughly. And Malcolm X people were searched thoroughly. Now,
What does that mean when they're searched thoroughly?
like they search you for
background?
guns, right?
Back down.
Now,
okay.
in the case of Malcolm X, the killers came, one of them even had a sawed-off shotgun, this and that. If you know that you're going to be searched to come into this place, you're not bringing in a sawed-off shotgun. So when people say that it was pretty straightforward, no, it actually, because some kind of way, the killers knew they weren't going to be searched.
Right.
And the person who gave the orders was a man named Eugene Roberts, who was later revealed to be an FBI agent. And how this ties into Tupac's case is that after he left from being Malcolm X's bodyguard, he joined the New York Panthers. And because of his credibility of, he used to guard Tupac, he was put into an elevated position. And he's the one who set Tupac's mother up.
So it's a link.
He set Tupac's mother and them up and had them on that conspiracy charge. And that's why Tupac's mother, while she was pregnant with Tupac, was in jail. And Eugene Roberts was the star witness against them. But he was also Malcolm X's bodyguard who came to the front and told the people at the front, Malcolm said, don't search nobody. And the killers knew that they weren't going to be searched. And then he was one of Afeni's their mentors and had them all pumped up that they were going to do these things. So even in the womb, you could honestly say Tupac was a target of these people. So fast forward to when he gets killed, and he gets killed in this way, and nobody gets prosecuted, and there's all these convoluted things out there. And if somebody says, man, I think the FBI, the government was involved, people will say, you just talking some conspiracy theory. But no, this is how they operate. They set scenarios up, like when the two Panthers got killed at UCLA, Bunchy Carter and them and this and that, there was an organization called US. And that the man who founded US started Kwanzaa, Karinga. Well, his group, US, and the Panthers used to have shootouts, right? But they're saying that what caused the havoc between them is that FBI agents were sending letters back and forth, making them think that they were enemies, and then they would have shootouts. And they would send letters to Eldridge Cleaver, signed by Huey Newton, saying, so some people like to laugh if you say, the FBI, COINTELPRO was involved in Tupac's death. But the flip side to it is that when this unexplainable shit going on,
it's all relative.
This is how they move, and this is how they've been moving for 50, 60 years. Fred Hampton, I don't know if y'all saw Judas and the Black Messiah. The movie didn't really touch on it, but one thing Fred Hampton's wife, who had the kid by him, always says that Fred was the type of person, he had so much energy, he had so much velocity about himself that normally he could wake up at the drop of a dime because their lives was in danger. And the particular night that the police is busting down the door, she's trying to wake him up, and he won't move, he won't respond. Exactly. Because the dude who played the Judas in the movie actually drugged him. They didn't touch on it in the movie, but they drugged him, and he suddenly said, you know what, I gotta go lay down. And then they was like, the police is coming in, they shooting. And Fred wouldn't move. And they knew exactly where he was laying in the bed. So we know that the FBI was involved in his murder, but they didn't even in the movie, they didn't show how deep it was. But just saying.
And they never will.
But I say all that to say
it's
that.
leaking out the secrets.
That when people say that some of these things are conspiracies, a lot of us are trained to be like, here niggas go with that conspiracy shit. But this is how they move. And they don't send an agent in with shades on to kill you. They put up a scenario where someone else kills you and they say, look, these gangs was into it, or these organizations was into it.
So wait, do you think that's what happened in Nipsey Hussle too?
I think so.
It's like this. Him and Dude knew each other. The way Dude went half-cocked, but then later on, Dude showed to be a mental patient. They manipulate. They might, if they want Shizzle dead, they might go to Florida and get to planting certain seeds in his head, this and that, whoop-de-whoop, and now they in, exactly, an agent provocateur. And then suddenly, they can say, oh, that was just them two cats into it. It's coincidence. But we don't know who was pumping dude up before he went up there to then be in a position where the first time Nipsey made him mad, he comes out with the guns. Because Nipsey is, you got to understand, LAPD and the sheriffs out there get a lot of their budget, a lot of their resources, a lot of their $1 billion police department based on, we got to stop these gangs. So if somebody gets to talking about, we're going to put a stop to the gangs, we're going to put a stop to the violence, we're going to combine them. Well, what do the organizations say? People start saying, hey, shit, cool. Y'all don't need all this budget. Because we got police officers even here in Oakland that make regular cops making $200,000, $300,000. Chiefs making down $1 million. Correctional officers making $200,000, $300,000. Well, that's a machine that's got to be fed. So if violence stops,
Thank you.
How you gonna feed the baby?
But even with the Tupac shit, I always felt like there was no way you can get into a shootout on the Vegas Strip and nobody not see nothing.
There's no footage.
There's no footage.
Not-
There's no nothing.
say that again.
There's no
Because we
footage.
know you under
There's no
surveillance from the time you get off I-15.
Hey, they sure followed that fight around the corner. They was following the fight all through the thing, and then all of a
Exactly.
sudden they go outside, and now, come on now.
I mean, and also, you can't cremate a murder victim before autopsy and everything is performed. Remember, you got cremated soon, so
And those of y'all that read that book that showed that supposed to be autopsy picture, you know that picture was fake. And then the supposed autopsy, on that book that white lady wrote, and then that supposed
I saw that
autopsy
Rotten
report.
Tomatoes.
Well, if you read that autopsy report, it says the person was 6'1", 215. If they did an actual autopsy, everybody knows Tupac was not 6'1", 215 pounds.
Well, was
so
he?
that Tupac was about her height.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was
5'7", 5'8". He wasn't that tall. He was
And he's about 150 pounds. So on that autopsy report, a lot of people can pull up right now on the internet and be like, oh, there was the autopsy, like Shizzle said. Autopsy obviously wasn't done because that report is fake. Because one of the main things on autopsy is they're going to show your height and weight.
Right.
So either they do autopsy the wrong body or that's fake paper. Even that picture that he's laying in, it shows like he's cut open.
Yeah.
That's a fake picture.
Oh.
That's AI.
Yeah. So, so
You don't know what people.
So like Deshaun said, that is facts. You're not doing an autopsy on a person who suffered multiple gunshots because you're gonna need that information in court, and you're gonna cremate him.
Right.
Like, come on now, it's some things that just don't add up.
Yeah. The thing I will say, back to the original topic of Keefe D getting hemmed up, arrested today, with him talking a lot. He said a lot of wild shit in a lot of them interviews.
Yeah.
Pointing fingers at other moguls and whatnot.
You're talking about the $1 million story.
Major moguls.
Yeah, major.
Come on, brother, add some clarity to context.
You want me
All
you want me to-
set.
I ain't trying to get no.
Pharaoh, like, look.
He was pointing fingers at Diddy, at Puff.
We in Oakland too.
Oh,
People
man.
have second thoughts about responding.
He was making some major allegations in a bunch of his interviews, and now that he arrested, it's like, was he capping? Is it real? Because remember, we was, most of us was like, we ride or die Pac.
Right.
We was in that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we was young minded back then too.
Yeah.
Not getting the whole story, not even on some, this is too much, man. Let's come together. We grown now. So, you approach shit differently, but it was like, fuck them niggas. And the shit that dude was saying in his interviews, whether true or not, because we don't know, you know what I'm saying? He was telling some outlandish shit, and now that he's, been arrested for it.
Was it outlandish?
I know, I get it, because like you said, once again, did these powers that be set this up to be a scapegoat situation? Or did some whole ass gangster shit happen?
So for a little bit of context, in one of those interviews, he's saying that. So, little backstory: there's a man named Zip out of Harlem who was friends with Puffy's daddy. Zip and Keefy D was moving weight together. When basically Suge started putting pressure on Puffy during the East Coast West Coast thing, Zip was like, "Oh, this nigga Suge out of Compton. I know some niggas out of Compton that don't fuck with them, and they'll hold you down." And that's how he connected Puff and Keefy D, because Keefy D and Suge grew up together. Well, supposedly, Puffy had said enough with these niggas and put $1 million up to knock their heads off, right?
Puff did.
Puff supposedly did this. Now, after Pac is killed,
He has the money and power to do it.
after Pac is killed, Puffy
Bring
supposedly
that on camera.
I can't eat on camera? Why? I like eating on camera.
Hold on, baby, I'm making a solid point. But Puff
We
said
almost done.
Puff sent the million. Keefy claims that Puff sent the million by Zip, and Zip did it moving with the million. So Keefy is saying that Puff put up this million, but he never actually received it. Zip ran off with the money.
Oh, I see that.
But the thing is that the Zip person was a real person, and he was like a mentor to Puff. He was Puff's father's friend in Harlem. And he was involved with moving weight from the East Coast to Keefy and them in Compton. Now,
So Zip took them.
Yeah, because he was, after they did the hit,
Yeah.
and the justification was that they basically supposedly, how the story supposedly goes, Puff offered Keefy $1 million to handle this Pac and Suge situation
right.
once and for all, right?
Yeah.
But on a fluke, they got into the particular conflict on the strip and went ahead on and made the move. But the move wasn't directly for the $1 million, but it was like, "Oh, you want that nigga gone? That nigga gone, where's our $1 million?" And Puff gave the $1 million to Zip, but Zip never showed up with it.
Wow.
And so, and Keefy has spoke on that, saying that Puff put up the $1 million, but he never actually got the $1 million. Zip ran off with it. So,
Yeah. I know the
did
rest of that
Puff really
story.
put this $1 million up?
Who
Did
knows?
Zip really get this $1 million? Did somebody else come, those agent provocateurs, and tell Puff, use your street connections to pump these niggas up to take care of this nigga Pop? Because just think, Farrakhan did the Million Man March in what, 94 or 95? Just think in 96, if somebody would have gotten Pac's ear properly, like Afeni and them, and been like, you need to do another Million Man March. Just think if Pac and Snoop was talking about, we're going to have another Million Man March for the streets, this and that, 1 million people would have came. That's the type of power that the government traditionally doesn't want somebody that looks like us to have.
True that.
And ain't no telling what they would be willing to do.
To stop it. Exactly. I agree. I hear you.
Now maybe Keefy's talking out of his ass, or maybe there's some more to it. But the bottom line is that now that he's going to trial,
Yeah, it's gonna be some wild shit
he's going
coming
to be
out.
arraigned in a couple of days. If you Keefy D, you 60 years old, and you about to get hung, maybe you might be like, hey man, this nigga Puffy is involved, and if Puffy is involved in any sort of way, even if Puffy was just talking out his ass, like, I'll give you niggas $1 million to handle that nigga, and then they go do it.
They saying it's
If they
because
can
of
rope
that.
him in,
That's how you take down a village.
yeah.
Because in the interview with the I believe the detectives or whatever from Vegas, that's how they charge him. Connection. It's like, even if you ain't the person who pulled the trigger, if you knew and what's gonna happen, exactly, conspiracy.
Not even that. They looking at it too.
Evading.
Like, if me and you rob a bank and I'm in the car
Yeah.
waiting for you, and you
know.
run out with the money, we both robbed the bank.
Yes.
Exactly. So I mean, this.
And if Sherry gave us the codes or told us the security patterns
Right.
or this and that, how it's going to go down, now we're a full conspiracy.
Right. Yeah.
Mac Dre didn't actually rob that bank. His partners did. He was in town for a show, and he did years over that shit.
Conspiracy.
Even when Jay Diggs got on the stand and said, Dre didn't even know. We pulled that move. They still hit Dre with 5 years. Diggs got 10 years.
Right.
But Diggs literally got on the stand and said, Dre ain't know nothing about that. Like, let him go. And they was like, oh, the best we can do is give him half the time we gave you. But he gonna do some time.
Right.
Let's-
Go for it.
Yeah. They still got modern day COINTELPRO. Excuse me, my
Yes.
weather got me off. But we shouldn't be scared to still stand up and unite and things like that. Just because, even though it's 2023, and they trying to intimidate us with all this stuff, we shouldn't let it stop us.
What's an example of some modern COINTELPRO?
It's so, oh my God, I'll be all night. Let's see. Well, they don't, so now it's a lot of agent provocateurs still, but they don't have to do much work because of the built-in COINTELPRO. Meaning like, parents, like say that guy that killed Tupac, so to speak, his children might be into some, BS in the streets, misleading some more youth just to, like pushing weight that and just really heavily influencing them to do it, even if they're not even really tripping off of it. Or gang instigations, like unnecessary stuff with gangs. And then it becomes bigger beef than what it is. I was trying to avoid this one, but even the Black Family Unit, we have divisive people, talking about how a relationship should go, and really all you gotta do is go back to your roots of knowledge itself, of how the original Black family was doing things before Jim Crow and all that.
Is there any truth to some of like these sexy red type rappers and stuff that's being pushed as an example of some of the culture that's being elevated? Or is that just coincidence?
No, that's part of their plan. They mix in our like natural culture with they slave plantation BS. Prostitution didn't begin in the Bible, it began on the slave plantation for the Black people anyway. So I know a lot of people get offended with religion versus actual historical facts, but prostitution began on the slave plantation to most of the time appease the master that's finna buy them or taking care of them or whatever, and it's male and female. And they train pimps, and everything we do it better than them. So whether it's bad or good. So, and then the dances are not supposed to be like, what is that word? Like, I don't want to say
Sexual, seductive.
Yeah, they're not. They probably are in the original tradition in certain instances, but it wasn't perverted. It was whatever they were. It wasn't perverted like it's tainted now because of white supremacy. It's like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, as far as the original, sorry.
And you had used the term earlier of agent provocateurs, and a lot of people don't realize that you have them. Some of them people that's running labels, some people that are in positions to produce certain things, they're doing provocative. But you also have another thing out there called the useful idiot. That's a person who isn't actually on their payroll, but sees other people getting money doing certain bullshit, and they jump on board and they push the line even further. Like you might got a Candace Owens out there, whatever, present a certain agenda. Then you'll have someone else come along and you'll be like, oh, he must be an agent too because he working so hard for the people, but he's actually not. He ain't a part of nothing official, but he see you over there getting money doing this. He be like, shit, I'm gonna jump on board with this bullshit too.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
Mr. Me Too.
So between the agent provocateurs and the useful idiots and the people that, like, for instance, some people look at him as a respected elder, but a person like a Jesse Jackson, they've been kind of questionable. They have some questionable actions, and some of the stuff that they've led people into, or some of the stuff that they've advocated for, and you look back, you'd be like, man, this nigga was just trying to get rich. And now you'd be like, man, did them people put a battery in his back and control his movements, or was he just grifting? That's what we'll never know, but we know the end result is some of the shit they be doing is, and some of these cats that's in Hollywood, you be like, okay, if they not on the people's payroll, they definitely pushing them people's agenda.
Yeah, they riding the fence.
So we ain't even gotta really have no outside forces doing no manipulative, because we got cats willing to carry water for them.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, that's just the way she goes.
Now,
Keep
do you
your
think
eyes peeled.
TCB gonna get convicted? What do you think, Shizzle? What's your prediction?
I will say, due to the fact that he has openly said in various interviews that he was there, and his own words,
Yeah.
you know. So,
All
I
gotta
think he
do is
would.
play the tape.
Whether was gaslighting, had something maybe to do, or not too much, or because the situation he was trying to false flag it, he gonna be a part. He going down, I believe.
But one of the most important
I
things
wanna-
in the first 48 is we always see cats putting themselves
And
at the scene. And besides those interviews, he did have an actual debrief session with the FBI where he did place himself in the car. He did say on oath that he handed Orlando the gun, so he's kind of
right.
Bride?
So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It just before we end it, I'll say this: attention is a hell of a drug.
Yep.
And they sell that shit by the pound, and niggas is quick to buy it.
give us a 3 in the morning for it. Because remember the Malcolm X movie? What did Elijah Muhammad tell Malcolm X? Them cameras and them lights is a powerful narcotic.
Yes, attention is a hell of a drug. The semblance of power will have a born king give up his birthright to be a peasant because he thinks the peasant has the power, and vice versa.
It's powerful. I mean, look at how people will get out there. People will get out there and get on these Instagram and TikTok just to get likes and just embarrass their whole family
Everything.
legacy.
So y'all be mindful of the shit y'all do and the shit you condone. Kelda, tell everybody where they can find you at on social media.
Yes, hey you guys can visit me on my website,
Is that the radio voice?
keldamuzik.com, KELDAMUZIK.com, and you can also follow my socials, which you'll find on the website as well, from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know it all. It's your girl, Keldamuzik Diva, here with my favorite people.
And as usual,
It don't stop and it won't stop. Bye-bye.
she fired up. Active
Wow, the yak then kicked in.
Yeah.
That's why we call it Cognac Confessionals, man. You know.
Flies, where they can find you.
Yo, it's your boy Camouflage, KAMM. Y'all can find me on Instagram, KAMMFLAGE. Yes, I do know how to spell, y'all. But yeah, that's copywritten. Y'all can find me on the gram, Twitter, Camouflage DJack. And hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Also, y'all go to our YouTube page and run them likes up, man. We got shows for y'all to binge watch. You feel me? Cognac Confessionals, YouTube.
Hey, and before I go, I just want to add a tidbit. Diane Feinstein died this morning. The boy Gavin Newsom said he was going to appoint a black woman. Watch, they are going to pull the most non-representative black woman with a complete different agenda than the rest of us. They're going to pull that out of his ass. They're going to put her up there. And you watch the Negroes fall in line praising this person and talking about the progress. And this is the first. And, oh, praise they mighty name.
Slapper dudes better keep your eyes open. Farrell, tell them where they can find
Hey,
you.
y'all can find me at Farrell Films, dispensing just little droplets of truth. Because, hey, he has faith that y'all going to get it at 3 in the morning. I don't believe y'all will, so I'm not going to overwhelm you.
And yeah, like, tell them where they can find you on social media.
So my old accounts got hacked in February for 13 years.
We just
My
want to know.
Damn.
Facebook, huh?
Just tell us what it's on right now. Where you on right now?
Her accounts got felonies.
Man.
They be like, hey, stay off them porn sites.
No. It's
She done fucked her whole game.
Clicking
He said for
them,
13
find a date in
years,
your
already
area.
3 months.
No, I'm just
Sherry, SHERIE, Blackie, BLACKY or BA something.
Oh,
It'll pop up.
shit.
It'll pop up.
Follow
African
Kelda and
born.
then you can find her.
Yeah, look
And
who
then
Kelda's friends and you'll find her.
My Instagram is
I feel it.
Africa.cherries.
Okay.
Africa.cherries.
Africa.cherries.
Okay.
Are there
On
cherries in
Instagram?
Africa?
I'm pretty sure.
Man, I was thinking it, but I didn't want to say it.
You
You
I
up
said-
next,
Yeah,
nigga.
I said, and me, you know, you can find me everywhere. Everywhere. I'm in your bitch's
Speak to your
dreams.
camera.
Why? Because I'm there. I am. Oh, you want me to speak to your camera too?
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, world? It's your boy Deshaun, the host of Cognac Confessionals. You can find me on Instagram at Cognac_Confessionals, on Facebook at Cognac Confessionals, on YouTube at Cognac Confessionals. And for you cats that don't know,
At your girl's house, okay? Cognac Confessionals.
find me
Check
in
her
your
search
chick's
history.
dreams. Cause hey,
Check
she
her
got it
search
at
history.
3 in the morning.
Actually, don't check her search history.
Don't
Be
say,
more
don't
bossy
check,
than that.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, but anyway, now it's time to say goodbye
To all my
Negro
Negro
friends.
friends.
Catch y'all next week.